start tonight. And the number one team in the land, the Texas Longhorn baseball team, will take on UTRGV tonight. And we'll talk a little bit about that. And Colorado is doing what? I am your host, Mike Hardball Hardge. My co-host is a WWE Hall of Famer and recognized that as the world's strongest man. He is the Mark Henry.
Good morning, Austin.
And our guy Marcus is on the boards. And if you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is text the word Texas followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. That's the word Texas followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. And if you want to voice your opinion, all you got to do is leave us a message by using that talkback feature on the new and improved iHeartRadio app. We'll receive your message instantly, and you might hear it on air. But most importantly, you will get a chance to win a pair of tickets to see Jason Aldean. You don't want to miss that. Let's get into it because Sark met with the media yesterday. And this is their 10th practice. So there's a lot of guys that are trying to make their way through this program. You know as well as I do, you start thinking about the season, right? You're thinking about spring. You're thinking about who is going to be some guys that are going to step up and get an opportunity to step out there. But Sark, with his new staff, new voices in a couple spots, but most importantly, new players are starting to make some moves. And here is Coach Sark with his opening statement about practice number 10.
So wrapped up practice 10 today, so with 5 to go. And, a couple things we touched on with the players is, hey, we're in this process of growth, and we're in this process of consistent growth, right? Because we're all trying to find the players we can trust, right? And that can show us that they can be trusted and that they can grow within and then sustain over time. And so, I think there's a level of consistency we're striving for in all 3 phases. We've definitely seen a lot of flashes from a lot of people. And it's now who can replicate that practice after practice after practice. And so I've been proud of the work ethic of our guys. I love the connectivity this team has. They work really hard together. And now we're just trying to continue to elevate them. Like I said, we've got 5 practices to go. We're trying to impress upon them a real sense of urgency to maximize these 5 days that are coming up, and to be really intentional with our approach, to be really intentional on what we're trying to get better at individually and collectively, so that we can really grow as a team heading into the summer and then into fall camp. So, like I said, that this is a really important time for us, these last 5 practices, because really offense, defense, the bulk of all that stuff is in. It's now who can retain, who can fine tune and tweak some of those little things, and then show us the growth, right? That they're not flatlining, that they're able to continue to grow and get better, so that we can get a real good sense of what we're going to be looking like headed into the summer.
And it's a big time look going into the summer, because you're trying to make sure that the right people are in the right places. He made a comment yesterday talking about the retention part, right? He says we could go out, we could play a scrimmage. There's some guys that don't know what's going on, what direction they're going. They may mess up quite a few times, and then you guys going right about it, and now people think the kid can't play. Or a kid go out there, he does things the right way, and then all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, this kid is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Now what? Oh, we can't wait. So sometimes you got to temper the hype train
right
in these type of situations.
The hype train, that's my thing.
Yeah, trust me, that is what you go to during football season, and rightfully so. I mean, there are times where the hype train just can't be stopped.
It can't.
But there are some that we sit there and we look forward to.
It can be derailed, though.
It can. It can jump off the tracks quickly.
Yes.
So he is trying to make sure that all of these young players that we are getting a chance to see are doing things to retain the offense, to retain the defense. Because think about it. You think about Michael Taft. He's somebody that's teaching. He's not having to learn more. He's working on certain things. But then you look at a Justice Terry, or it was not Justice Finkley, but Michael Terry. He's somebody that's trying to learn something, the new defensive lineman or defensive end or whatever position you want to play him at. So there are some moments that these guys are starting to grasp everything that they are being thrown at, right? And so for Coach Sark, he's looking at it that way. But one of the biggest stories that has been talked about, obviously, is the Tennessee thing. But leading up to that, last week, Coach Sark made the trip to D.C. with the athletic department and some players to kind of get some guardrails on this thing that we're talking about right now with the transfer portal, what's happening with players opting out, how are you coming in to get more money? There's just so much that is happening throughout this time that is difficult. So they went to Congress to have a little meeting with them.
Yeah, I mean, I think something for me that is important. I love being a college football coach. I love watching these guys come in, develop, grow, have an experience, fail, grow some more, have some success, grow some more, fail again, grow some more. And I'm just trying to be mindful of, I don't think any of us, and our student athletes included, I don't think any of them want to be employees, right? They don't want to feel like an employee. They want to feel like a student athlete. And I get NIL, and believe me, I want our players to be compensated in a way that's right and that's fair. But I also think, we're in a space right now where we don't have a lot of guardrails. We don't have a lot of regulation. And I think if we don't start doing some of this, if we don't start finding a way to get some guardrails around this, we're going to lose this idea of a student athlete, and we're going to start gravitating closer and closer and closer to an employment status. And I don't think any of us want that. And clearly we're seeing that now, because once we go to employment status, then are we talking about unions? Are we talking about CBAs? Are we talking about firing people? I don't think any of us want that. That's not why I got into this. I got into this to develop young people, young men to become men in society. And part of that is playing football and an opportunity to fulfill their dreams of playing in the NFL. Part of that is earning a degree. Part of that is learning life lessons that they can take with them in life. And so that was part of that visit. And I think it's, at the end of the day, there's so many different voices. There's so many different opinions. How can we start to corral those opinions and come to a common kind of idea and thought process that can we move forward with? Because it feels like sometimes right now we're taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back because of another lawsuit or something here and there. How do we get some parameters, some guardrails, so we can all move forward in a positive direction? Steve?
That's a necessary thing. I always like the saying that the rules are what keep us from being the savages.
Right.
Like, you need structure. You need rules. You need to have everything monitored and everybody abide by the same law. Otherwise, it's not fair. And, I've always been that guy that preached from the mountaintops about fair, because I competed against a lot of people that use drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And when it's not fair, it's just not fun, Hardge. It was not fun to compete against people that I knew that they could do more than me because they were cheating.
Right.
So for him to go to Washington, D.C. and be a part of a committee that is about setting the rules so that everybody's on an even, fair playing field, I'm all for it. I'm all for it 100%.
Yeah, it is truly important for all of that to happen. And that's why Sark and a lot of athletic directors were there. CDC was there. And the conversation needed to happen. And the conversation came up because of what is happening at Tennessee. And Coach Sark had his thoughts on the Tennessee situation.
I think it's a difficult one for Nico and his family. It's a difficult one for Coach Heupel and Tennessee and what they're trying to do. Ultimately, we all only have so much money to operate within, and we're all trying to build a team. And that's one of the beautiful things about football. It's the ultimate team sport. And so when no different than if you were in the NFL, sometimes when your hand gets forced and you only have so much money that you can allocate, you have to do what's best for the team. And I think Tennessee has made that decision from what I can tell. I haven't talked to Josh, but from what I can tell, and in Nico's camp and in their opinion, they're trying to do what's best for the young man. And so, but this is what we've created, right? We've created this environment that this was going to come to a head at some point. And it was just a matter of which school was it going to happen with first. And so why were we in DC this week? This is a prime example to try to minimize some of these situations that just occurred.
And I love the fact that he said it that way, and we'll continue these conversations a little bit later. But coming up next, the Dallas Cowboys started OTA, and they were truly wondering if someone was going to show up. Not only did he show up, he represented. We'll talk about it right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Baseball season is here, and the Round Rock Express are ready to take the field. Hear all the action right here on 1300 The Zone. Whether you're at home or on the road, stay connected with Round Rock Express Baseball live on 1300 The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
A minor accident was cleared very quickly on the service road of I-35 northbound at Brant, so we're not seeing any delays, at least here on the service road. The main lanes, though, in that same spot are pretty congested on I-35 northbound between Onion Creek Parkway over to William Cannon Drive. You're looking about a 10-minute add to the morning commute. I'm Jason Fostick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Cedar Park Overhead Doors. For top quality garage doors that won't break the bank, you can count on Cedar Park Overhead Doors. Their sales reps will find the door you want, not the one they want to sell. For the best prices and the best service, call Cedar Park Overhead Doors. Online at cedarparkgaragedoors.com.
When divorce puts your life's work on the line, Cordell & Cordell is ready to help you protect it. As a business owner, you've dedicated years building a legacy now at risk due to divorce. Let our experienced family law attorneys fight for you and that legacy. Cordell & Cordell is one of the nation's largest family law firms. Call to schedule your consultation today.
Offices in Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Austin area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, Principal Partner. CordellCordell.com.
A happy place comes in many colors. Whatever your color, bring happiness home with CertaPro Painters. And make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters, that's painting happy. During our spring sales event, get 10% off any home painting project, $2,500 or more. When you schedule before May 15th at participating locations, get started today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Hey Austin, this is Cameron Parker with big news. 2024 savings are ending. Customers who switch from Geico, Allstate, and State Farm to Fred Loya Insurance saved an average of $2,300 a year. That's right, customers at Jackson saved an average of $2,300 a year when they switch to Fred Loya Insurance. That's almost $200 a month. Wow. Don't wait. Make 2025 a great year by calling Fred Loya Insurance. Call today, 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040. Or visit fredloya.com. If you don't call, you don't save. Individual savings may vary.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. Classes start May 14th. Apply now and save with no application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
Tickets are on sale now, y'all, for our 2025 iHeart Country Festival, presented by Capital One, happening Saturday, May 3rd at the Moody Center in Austin, Texas. Don't miss your chance to see country music's biggest superstars. Tickets are on sale now. Ticketmaster.com.
Hey, weekend warriors, how's a little trail therapy sound right now? Hop in. Let's go for a ride in the all-new Nissan Armada Pro 4X. Tune out all those work emails and turn up that twin-turbo V6 engine. Instead of letting the kids play online, show them some epic inclines. Turn your 8-person family dinner into an exhilarating off-road adventure. The all-new Nissan Armada is here. Intelligent four-wheel drive cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions.
Kubota Orange Days delivers the savings you need for the life you love. Shop a wide selection of equipment at your local dealer, including America's #1 selling compact tractor, and get your perfect match delivered to your door. Designed for comfort and built for performance. Now through June 30th, get 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,000 off select compact tractors. Sales ending soon. See the details at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay, things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The championship is back in the Bay for the first time in 40 years.
On the new limited podcast series, Dub Dynasty, we hear from head coach Steve Kerr on how Steph Curry almost never even joined the Warriors.
In fact, I thought we had a draft day deal to end up getting him to Phoenix.
For the entire behind-the-scenes story of Golden State's incredible 10-year run, open your free iHeartRadio app, search Dub Dynasty, and listen now.
The Round Rock Express play here. 1300 The Zone.
Coming up in the next segment, we have Joe Cook of Inside Texas and On 3, where he can give us time to talk about some of the things he heard yesterday at the presser with Coach Sarkisian. We have so much that has been going on as well. So I'm excited to have a conversation with Joe Cook because Texas got a new transfer portal commitment as well. So Joe Cook will give us the latest on that. And as I said before, if you want to be a part of the show, all you got to do is text the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Standard data and message rates may apply. That's the word Texas, followed by your message to 81530. Mark, the Dallas Cowboys started OTAs yesterday in Frisco, and the conversation started with obviously Brian Schottenheimer's first OTAs as the head coach. Dak Prescott seems to be in better shape. He lost a lot of weight coming off of that injury, but a lot of guys were wondering what was going to happen with Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is in the middle of a contract negotiation, and everybody is always trying to figure out what's next. You've tried to trade everybody on the Dallas Cowboys at some point for draft picks, and I'm just curious to Micah being present. He's a 3-time All-Pro, and he's done everything he possibly can to be a good leader on this team. So were you shocked that he showed up? Were you happy that he showed up? Is it something that you thought he might hold out a little bit, or is it just the way that Micah kind of handles himself?
I never thought he would hold out. I thought that he would show up. I figured that he would come there with the intent on getting his contract situation resolved. And I feel like Jerry Jones, and I told you this before, Jerry Jones already has made his mind up. He's probably told Mike, look, I'm going to sign you. He said, I'm going to give you the money. But this is too good. Look at all the exposure that we're getting. You can't pay for that. So Jerry Jones is playing the game, and Micah, I think, is playing the game with him. That's why he showed up. When was the last time you saw a Cowboy hold out?
I mean,
you don't see them hold out because they know they're going to get their money. They're just playing the game for the media.
But at this point, why do we keep playing the game with the media? There's no game to be played.
Because it's in the news.
But the Cowboys are going to be in the news anyway. That's my point.
No, I don't think
the Cowboys will always be in the news. But
they're going to be in the news, Hardge, but not like what they're doing. They're at the top of every news cycle about everything that they're doing. And
exactly. They got a brand new coach. They have a brand new coach, bro. Like Brian Schottenheimer is a brand new coach that we had Clarence Hill on the show. And Clarence Hill was like, nobody.
He don't even know how he got there.
Exactly. So the Cowboys are always going to be people hate Dak Prescott, going to be in the middle of the show. They got a brand new coach, get in the middle of the show. You talk about the draft possibility in this year's draft. Middle of the show. Always going to be on somebody's radar because the Cowboys don't do things the right way. Micah Parsons is the biggest star on the Cowboys. Going to talk about him because he hadn't signed his contract. But we know, as you said, who holds out, who's going to get the contract, he's going to get the contract. The Cowboys just need to start. How about changing the way you do things? How about that?
Hey,
Because
I'm all for it. You preaching to the choir.
It obviously has not worked.
I'm in the background like this.
You're conducting right now.
Yes.
And the thing that, again, Jerry, we're beyond you being in the headlines now. We are well beyond that. What did Lil Wayne say? Real G's move in silence like lasagna. So why is it that we always have to be at the forefront? Because not only are you in the forefront, you're a laughing stock. And you continue to be it because your business acumen is never doubted away from football. It's always doubted when it comes to the football conversation. So for them to look at Micah, who came back in, looks to be in great shape, doing everything he's supposed to do, why not handle your business and change the narrative of the Dallas Cowboys?
What about admitting you made a mistake? Don't we have to do that all the time?
Yeah.
Why does Jerry Jones not have to do it? What makes him
would
so
be the mistake,
different?
though? What would you want him to admit?
Signing guys that didn't deserve those deals because he was afraid somebody else might get them. Let somebody else get the mistake. Like, he's got to not do that. He's handicapping. He's putting handcuffs on himself. No, he's not putting handcuffs. He's putting zip ties. You know the zip ties? He's putting zip ties on himself.
Can you bust zip ties?
No, they hurt too bad.
I've
tried it.
You've tried to bust out the zip ties?
Cut your wrists all up. You have to use duct tape.
And even then,
it still hurt.
Yeah, I was going to say duct tape. That is like.
See, with handcuffs, you twist the chain and lock it, and the pin breaks.
Right.
But if you put on zip ties, it digs into your skin.
Oh, yeah.
And then you got to try to brave the pain. If you can get by the pain, which I can't.
Yeah.
No zip ties for me.
I'm not doing that either. I'm not.
Look at the conversation we have.
Well, I mean, I was just curious too. Sometimes you got to break the chain, you said, right? And that's where we're trying to get with Jerry. We're trying to figure out.
Get him to break the chain of making bad decisions.
Yes.
And there's nobody there to tell him no. Hey, I told you before, Hardge, if I was worth $12 billion, you would have a hard time telling me anything.
Right.
And that's where he is. Nobody tells him what to do. Nobody. The government don't tell Jerry what to do. Jerry will go and lobby and get all the people to be on his side, and they will go to Congress and they try to change the law.
Right.
Like, that's when you got billions, you can do some law changing.
And that's why I'm trying to figure out like this whole journey of the Dallas Cowboys and why is it that they continue to fail at this? I mean, you look at their draft and Will McClay has done an unbelievable job in the draft when you sit back and truly look at who they've picked in the first round. Who have they truly gone after in these situations to where it's like, all right, he's done really, really well with this draft. But then you go and look at how the Cowboys, after the draft, what happens? You've had sustainable seasons. You've done really well throughout the regular season. The story is always going to be about the playoffs. Playoffs, always about the playoffs. So how do you get over that hump?
You cannot let Jerry sign a deal like he did with Diggs. You cannot let Jerry sign a deal like he did with Zeke Elliott. You cannot let him sign a deal like he did with
Dak Prescott.
I would, if you don't have those other two, then you can sign Dak for that money.
Yeah.
Because you don't have $38 million tied up in two other players. And I was so happy that they let Tyron Smith go because they signed him 3 years ago and he handicapped them.
Well, he's also somebody that was always hurt too.
And he was always hurt.
Yeah.
So why would you sign a guy for 3 more years and for max money in the league?
Right.
So, I mean, Zach Martin earned his money. He was there every week, every game until he wasn't.
Yeah.
And what did he do? Hey, I'm not taking your money. I'm hurt. I'm old. I'm done. And he retired.
Yeah.
That's what more players need to do rather than just string along, keep taking the money, and then they let the franchises suffer. And the owners, not just loyalty, but some of it is we don't have another option. And I don't feel like looking for one.
Well,
very lazy thinking.
Very lazy thinking, and that's why it's important for the Cowboys to make the right decisions moving forward. I know a lot of people are still trying to figure out this Joe Milton situation. Some people think he's going to be a dog. I'm just like, if
he's a backup.
If there would have been a lot of other people going after him, then we could have that conversation. But not a lot of people are going after him. Coming up next, we'll talk to Joe Cook of Inside Texas and On 3. Ask him the latest about a transfer that just committed to the Texas Longhorns right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
There's an accident on Elroy Road at the service road of 130, causing some slowdowns. A stalled vehicle has the right lane blocked off on I-35 northbound at Onion Creek Parkway. We're also seeing some major delays on I-35 northbound between FM 150 over to Highway 45 at a 25-minute out of the drive. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Bosch. With the Bosch 18-volt Bulldog rotary hammer, you can conquer your construction needs, and you can powerfully break through concrete. Get the Bosch 18-volt Bulldog rotary hammer. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch.
Hey, it's your boy Mike Hardge here, and I'm rolling in style with MyPlates.com.
And I'm the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. You know I got to have a license plate as strong as my legacy.
That's right, Mark. MyPlates.com lets you customize your Texas license plates with your name, your team, your passion, whatever makes your ride stand out.
And big or small, My Place has it all. You want bold, you want style, you want to turn heads at every stoplight, My Place has you covered.
Plus, it's easy. Just hop on MyPlace.com, pick your design, and make it yours. And now, you can even score discounts on select plates.
So why ride with a boring plate when you can flex on them with My Plates?
That's right. Go to MyPlates.com today and customize your Texas license plate.
And get yours now before I go out and take them all.
So visit MyPlates.com and use the promo code THEZONE, all one word, THEZONE, to save up to $55. And don't be boring. Be exciting. And tell them Mike Hardge
and Mark Henry
sent you.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check you have your phone first, before the cab pulls away.
Hey, thanks, man. No, wait, my phone, come back. It's my boarding pass, credit cards, phone numbers, my life, come back.
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The check is good, the experience is smooth, and the reviews online are wonderful at GiveMeTheVin.com. They don't call us America's best car buyer for nothing.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
With 12 grams of protein per serving, Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal is there for active mornings, relaxing ones, and all the moments in between. It microwaves in 60 seconds, helping fuel your morning with ease. With 4 delicious flavors to choose from, there's a reason it's the GOAT. That's greatest oatmeal of all time. Try a delicious bowl of Quaker Protein Instant Oatmeal today. Quaker, bring out the good.
It's Spring Black Friday at the Home Depot, so what are you working on? If you're sprucing up your lawn, you know there's no such thing as too much mulch. So don't miss this special buy. 5 bags of Scott's Earth Grow mulch for only $10 at the Home Depot. Promote healthier soil, prevent weeds, and beautify your yard with mulch that maintains its color for up to 12 months. Shop 14 days of deals during Spring Black Friday, now through April 16th at the Home Depot.
Harrison Barnes drained a game-winning 3 at the buzzer as the Spurs stunned the Warriors on the road, ending their 3-game skid. Luka Doncic scored 45 in his return to Dallas as the Lakers beat the Mavericks to clinch a playoff spot. In baseball, the Astros gave up 7 runs over the last 2 innings, falling to the Mariners. They dropped 2 of 3 in Seattle. Spencer Arrighetti will not need surgery on his thumb. I'm Rob Bushka.
Hey, this is Lincoln Kennedy. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
That feeling of owning your first Mercedes-Benz is hard to believe, but it's real. From the leather stitching to the iconic design, every element of a Mercedes lives up to its reputation. See for yourself at your local dealer. Offers are waiting.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. Hook 'em horns.
Welcome back to the morning kickoff right here on Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone. We are joined on the line right now by my man Joe Cook of Inside Texas. You can follow him on social media at JosephCook89. And Joe, we were both at the press conference yesterday for Coach Steve Sarkisian, and we went through a lot of different scenarios. But one of the things we didn't get a chance to ask him is because right after that, we found out that Texas has now recruited and got a commitment from Stanford wide receiver Emmett Mosley. Mark came in this morning talking about the routes that he was running and everything else regarding this young man. But what have you seen on film that is very interesting for this Texas Longhorn football team to go out and get this young man?
Man, looking at his bio is really interesting. He had some cool stats and figures about him. 525 yards, 48 catches, 6 touchdowns. Apparently that receiving yardage number by a true freshman was the most since Richard Sherman, which is impressive in multiple ways. But I really do like this pickup. Someone who posted quality numbers in just about 9 games. He didn't start the first 4 games because I guess Troy Taylor thought, oh, we got a freshman, whatever. Then he comes out and starts playing against teams like Clemson and starts playing against teams like Duke and stuff like that, and has a good outing. And then he posts 160-something yards against Louisville. So I don't think this is like, people, I think when they look through the portal nowadays, they're looking for the next Matthew Golden or like the next Jordan Addison, thinking that anybody from the portal is going to be like the top guy right away, Texas offense. And I think Texas would definitely be involved in that if somebody like that did pop up. But at the same time, this is someone that's a little bit in between, like a 5-star high school recruit and someone who's been, just redshirting. This is someone with actual Power 4 experience. It's easy to see him as somebody who is in the Texas wide receiver rotation. And I think he fits a need by, not only adding a number to that room that Sark believes needs it, but he adds someone who can play right away. And someone that Texas will have a hold on to for at least, 3 years. So I really like this pickup. They needed wide receivers for a lot of different reasons. And this is a good ball player, 6'2", 190, played a lot of slot at Stanford. Maybe that's because of simple Stanford offense. But maybe he can do a few more things and provide a little bit of an outside threat and help the Longhorns out this year.
Joe, that's what I was telling Hardge about. I watched probably 35 of his 48 plays or catches. and he's an inside the hash receiver. A lot of out of the backfield, a lot of the slot stuff that he would run inside. Maybe he'll run a 15-yard out, but he's not a guy that's running long, deep routes or flies and goes. Like, the toughness is what I feel like Texas needs. We know that speed kills, but power buries. What do you think?
Right.
What do you think about him being that dominant, kind of rough type of receiver?
Yeah, it's someone who's a little bit more physical than what you expect maybe from a Stark wide receiver. I think he's, I don't think he may not end up being a slot at Texas, but it's good that he can do some of the things where he's going to get roughed up. He's got to win at the top of the route against a receiver that or against a defender that kind of has a way to box him in. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does, and maybe it helps free up where you can move Ryan Wingo around a little bit. I know the receiving roles at Texas are a little bit, change kind of quickly. They're not really rigid, but this is someone that's got that versatility, but he's also got the size to him at 6'2", 190 that helps him be able to, win those physical battles when he needs to and do some things when it's not just footwork and route running that gets him wins. It's when you beat the guy up across from you.
Also, being a really good blocker helps too. He's going to be an asset in the run game. But also the thing that I found, and I don't know how much you know about it, but he's got a younger brother that's a 26 that is a burner, that is a elite wide receiver. You think that this is also one of those ploys where let me get the brother and maybe I got a little leeway to get the younger one coming at?
It could be. I think the younger brother is committed to USC. It's definitely an athletic family. The dad, Emmett Mosley the fourth, played football at Notre Dame. His mom basically won the college women's soccer version of the Heisman at Notre Dame. So definitely has some athletic family background. Someone that understands what the grind is like and what it takes to be successful as an athlete in modern football, and I guess that also passed down to their other sons and daughters. So we'll see if they get involved in that one. That's his brother is not someone I'd really heard a lot of mention about. I'm not sure if they have an offer yet, but it's hard not to think that they're going to start talking a little bit more to that family for as many wide receivers come from it.
We're talking to Joe Cook of Inside Texas. You can follow him on social media at JosephCook89. Joe, I wanted to go back to Coach Sark's conversation yesterday about the NIL and what it all entails, him and Chris Del Conte and some other coaches going up to Congress. What was your biggest takeaway in that?
Yeah, I think what Sark said about just the overall money pool is very revealing because let's face it, Texas is a very strong NIL program, and also Tennessee does.
Yep.
Remember the reason Nico Imaliva made some headlines is because out of high school he was purportedly signed to like a 3-year, $8 million deal, and that's a big number, but it was the first one, so it was the one that caught everybody's eye. Still, that kind of goes to show Tennessee they can get their stuff together. I think it's Pilot, the gas station travel stop company. Their CEO is a big Tennessee fan, so there's one big fish that's out there supporting them. And even so, there's only so much money, and it's not so much monetary supply. If they really wanted to pay $4 million, they probably could. But there's also the locker room aspect. There's also the, what are you actually worth aspect.
Mm-hmm.
And I think coaches and administrators alike are tired of having to deal with this, no salary cap by, I guess, law. There is a salary cap by practicality, but there's no salary cap by law. And then there's just unlimited free agency. They're just tired of all the different stuff. And yesterday was the first time I heard Coach Sarkisian himself say, he thinks Congress is the way to fix it. And I know that's something that's been echoed by the NCAA. I know that's something that's been echoed even by UT administrators, and the reason they think that is because every other time they try something else, somebody in the court system says, no, you're wrong, you're doing something that violates antitrust laws. So that's why they all look to Congress, but we'll see what happens there when Congress's priorities usually are not on collegiate sports, whether it's an even year or an odd year.
Joe, we're going to let you go with this. You're a big fan of WrestleMania, and you were telling me a story yesterday about your trip to WrestleMania. How excited are you about this weekend?
Yeah, it's Christmas week, right, Mark? This is going to be a lot of fun.
It's Christmas in April.
It's Christmas in April. You get 2 Christmases even nowadays, so it's a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they paint the whole picture with Cena and Rhodes. And man, they've made all this Paul Heyman stuff extremely, extremely interesting. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see what happens over the next couple days. Mark, I was trying to convince Hardge to make the 24-hour turnaround out there, but we'll see if you're able to convince him better than I was.
I tried to get him to come, but he said that it's hard with him being a super dad that he is, which I respect, and also, calling baseball games. So it's, I'm not gonna push him when I know he's already got good stuff going on.
But Joe was trying to help you yesterday.
Yeah,
he was trying to. Joe was pushing me yesterday. He's like, "Hard, you've never done a 24-hour Vegas." I'm like, "Man, chill, man, chill." As always, Joe, appreciate the insight, man, and we'll talk to you again soon, bro.
Absolutely, thank you guys.
No problem. There he is, Joe Cook of Inside Texas. Make sure you follow him at Joseph Cook 89. Coming up next, Colorado is doing what? Yeah, I want to get Mark's thoughts on this situation in Colorado when we come back here on the morning kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
As the weather heats up, the action on the diamond gets even hotter. Here's the 0-1.
Swung onto the ball, hit well, out toward right, and you can say goodnight to it.
Tune into Longhorn Baseball all season long.
The stretch in the payoff pitch, swing and a miss, struck him out. Got him on the slider, and the Longhorns with back-to-back strikeouts.
From the road to the dish. This is Longhorn Baseball on 1300 The Zone.
Bonus Bucks. Bonus Bucks. Once you win $1,000 in bonus bucks, you'll have more money to use on your fantasy leagues. Bonus Bucks. The winning happens every weekday, right here
on 1300 The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
There's an accident on Elroy Road at the service road of 130, causing some slowdowns. A stalled vehicle has the right lane blocked off on I-35 northbound at Onion Creek Parkway. We're also seeing some major delays on I-35 northbound between FM 150 over to Highway 45 at a 25-minute out of the drive. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Cordell and Cordell.
Cordell & Cordell, Divorce and Family Law. CordellCordell.com. 866-323-7529. 866-323-7529. Joseph Cordell, Principal Partner. CordellCordell.com.
Hey, Austin, this is Cameron Parker with big news. 2024 savings are renting customers who switch from Geico, Allstate, and State Farm to Fred Loya Insurance saved an average of $2,300 a year. That's right, customers in Texas saved an average of $2,300 a year when they switch to Fred Loya Insurance. That's almost $200 a month. Wow. Don't wait. Make 2025 a great year by calling Fred Loya Insurance. Call today, 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040. Or visit fredloya.com. If you don't call, you don't save. Individual savings may vary.
Sometimes it feels like the world is moving at hyperspeed and you can't keep up because it's one thing then another. And don't forget the meeting and the yoga class and the dinner reservation. But then you get into the all-new Nissan Murano and you feel the breeze from the panoramic moonroof while the massaging seats melt away the tension of the day. And you realize that sometimes the greatest rush is not rushing at all. Shop the all-new Murano at nissanusa.com. Panoramic moonroof massaging leather appointed seats are available features.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings.
Craig Way here, and I'm with Dan Christensen from DJC Law. If you've been seriously injured in an accident, don't take the loss. You need the MVPs of injury law at DJC Law. Dan, tell everyone about Team Justice.
Thanks, Craig. DJC Law is here for you 24/7. You can reach us anytime at 512-888-9999. Our team of lawyers work hard for our clients, which is why we have over 1,000 five-star Google reviews. Team Justice has over 20 lawyers with combined 200-plus years of experience and over 500 trials. With a 99% win rate, we've been able to collect over $400 million in recoveries for our clients. We have offices in North and South Austin, but we can also come to you anytime, anywhere, 24/7, nights and weekends. And the best thing is, we don't get paid unless we win your case.
Sounds like going with DJC Law is a real touchdown for clients.
You could say that.
I just did. If you've been seriously injured by someone else's negligence, get your free consultation today. Call Dan Christensen at DJC Law today at 512-888-9999 or visit teamjustice.com.
Principal office, Austin, Texas.
All about the presets.
That is the best new feature. It's like a car radio right on the app. There's a list of what's trending. There's all the podcasts. I love it.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio.
Hey, if you've been following the news at all lately, then you've probably heard about auto-related tariffs. It's pretty difficult to miss, and it's also tough to separate the facts from misinformation. All the noise can be confusing if you're looking to make a good decision for your family. No tariff has been applied to vehicles on dealer lots or at the ports. However, the anticipation of tariffs has created a run-up in the used car market, similar to what occurred during the pandemic. But what it's created is a buyer's market. How long this buyer's market lasts or where to save the most money depends on who you talk to and who you trust. You can trust the experts at Apple Leasing to help you navigate this time and make the best decisions for your family. Now's the time to call. Their number is 512-346-9977. No money down, lower payments. This call could save you thousands. Call them today at 512-346-9977 or click appleleasing.com.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horn. Make us the number one preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good. Sports Radio 1300 The Zone. We cover all 48.
Great stuff from Joe Cook of Inside Texas. Make sure if you missed any part of that, get over to our podcast page later and check it out because he did another great job. He even got some wrestling conversation in there for our boy Mark Henry. There's a lot going on this weekend. But I wanted to get into this conversation because Colorado made an announcement yesterday that they are doing something that's pretty unique. And that is doing a jersey retirement this weekend, to be honest with you. This weekend, Saturday, at the Black and Gold Day at Folsom Field, they are going to retire number 2 and number 12 as they are retiring the jerseys of Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter. Now, retiring jerseys are not unique. I mean, there's things here at the University of Texas that you have to achieve to get your jersey retired. But it doesn't happen the season after you get done playing. It normally happens a little bit later. So I'm not shocked that they would do something like that. But I guess the question would be, why are they doing it right now? Like, why is it important for them to have these jerseys retired right now? And before everybody says Dion did this and all there's levels that you have to go through to achieve the ability to retire a jersey. Now, he might have expedited it, but you got to go through the administration. You got to go through the athletic department. You got to go through the athletic director for these types of things. And you probably have to go through committees to get your jersey retired. So what are your thoughts on the announcement that they are already retiring these 2 jerseys?
There's such a thing as a first ballot Hall of Famer. There's such a thing as a can't miss recipient of an award. And, nobody said nothing when Andrew Luck got it at Stanford. He got his number retired in 1 year. And Deion realizes that 2 years, in 2 years, not 4 years, Shadur was able to amass numbers that equal what Cordell Stewart and the other top quarterbacks have at the University of Colorado. There has never been a player in college football history to do what Travis Hunter did. You may have to go back to somebody like Jim Thorpe, what he did, but he did it in the NFL. So it's not like it was him doing it in college. Travis Hunter was averaging 100 plays a game, playing on both sides of the ball. Why not is my thing. Why not retire their numbers? Because their numbers, he won the Heisman. It's not like that Travis Hunter had a good season.
He retired. He won the Heisman.
He won the
I can
Heisman.
understand that. But think about all the other players that have gone through Colorado.
And they set records.
Stewart,
They set record.
Cordell Stewart, Rashawn Salam, Eric Public Bieniemy, all those players that came before him that did a lot for them. Because remember, Colorado was on top of the game.
They was that team.
They actually were playing for national championships.
Yeah.
This team didn't play for a national championship.
It also helps to have somebody lobby for you. I tell you all the time, I didn't get to where I got in my life by just my own merits. I had people helping me along the way and pushing me and supporting me. We need to do more mentoring. I pray every day that I'm able to help somebody else achieve their goals. If I can help somebody else, I feel like, man, I'm gonna keep living on.
Right.
Deion is not trying to do it because, hey, look at me. He's like, hey, look at them. And
I guess my
I don't have a
question
problem
is,
with it.
like, you don't have a problem with it being so quick. They're not even.
I don't.
They haven't even been drafted yet. They basically are just walking out of the school. Vince Young won a national championship.
Vince Young number should have been retired the day he walked off campus. Kevin Durant's number should have been retired the day he walked off. There have never been anybody greater than them at this university or many others. You can say a lot of names at quarterback in college, and all of them be behind Vince Young.
Yeah,
all of them.
Yeah,
name Joe Montana
for the
behind
University
him.
of Texas.
Brady
For the
behind
University
him.
of Texas, you can say
No,
that.
I'm in college football.
They've already proven that there's been other people better than him. They have already said that. But I'm asking the question about the retirement of the jersey part of it. And you said you don't have no problem with it. So
I don't have a problem with it.
I get it.
I mean, it's something that's is worth arguing because
Yeah, I was going to say it's debatable.
Yeah, it's debatable, but I'm saying that the fact is that when Vince Young was on this campus, they estimated him selling about
You could say the same about
$9
Tim
million
Tebow. You could say
in
that about
jersey
Tebow
sales.
too. Because Tebow won a national championship, and he was a Heisman Trophy winner, and he was the face of the Florida Gators like VY was. I mean, the debate is that Tommy Frazier is one of the greatest players to ever play college football as well.
Different era.
But that's my point. So,
But I still would retire Tommy's number.
Right. We're just getting started with hour number 2 coming up around the corner. We'll have more from Coach Sark. We'll talk NBA playoffs. We'll always have the world's strongest take. And Texas baseball is the #1 team in the country. Hour number 2 is just around the corner right here on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone. Spring is here, and that means time to gear up for graduation gifts and summertime adventures. Whether it's a fresh ride for the grad or a tough truck for your next getaway, Cover Ford and Hutto has what you need. Go see them for great deals like a new 2024 Ford Super Duty Lariat for $10,696 off of MSRP, a new 2024 Ford Mustang EcoBoost Premium for $9,166 off of MSRP, or a new 2024 Ford Expedition Timberline for $9,000 off of MSRP. See dealer for details. CoverFordHutto.com.
When divorce places your home, finances, or kids in jeopardy, Cordell & Cordell is here to fight to protect your interests. Cordell & Cordell is committed to advocating for your rights in divorce and family law matters, providing the legal experience to fight for success. Call today for a consultation and details on our military service member pricing.
Offices in Austin, San Antonio, and St. Louis. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Austin area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, Principal Partner. CordellCordell.com.
Hi, this is Tom McKay with Audiovisual Consultations. Today's home electronics can be a bit daunting. My company has spent the last 36 years making sure they are not. For those of you who have not experienced our services yet, we'd like to invite you to give us a try for all your home electronics needs. We carry all the major brands of televisions and stereo equipment at prices you can't find in stores. And we come to you. There's no need to leave your home to find great pricing and incomparable service. No traffic, inexperienced sales geeks, or pushy showroom tactics. We believe in having some fun and dreaming big. Do you have a dream for your home entertainment? Let us know. We can make it come true. And we are always there to help after the job is done. We cultivate clients for a lifetime by treating everyone like their family. No, not those family members. I'm talking about the ones you actually like. So relax, hug your kids, make love to your wife, and smile. Then, when you have a moment, give us a call at 255-8678. That's 512-255-8678. Or online at avconsultations.com.
A message for qualified investors from Noble Gold Investments. If your portfolio is over $250,000 and you aren't hedged, you're sitting on a ticking time bomb. With markets at all-time highs, history tells us what comes next. A 10% allocation into gold and silver can help diversify. Experienced investors know that in times of economic uncertainty, real assets, not paper promises, offer true security. Noble Gold Investments makes it easy to add institutional-grade gold and silver to your portfolio so you can hedge like the world's smartest investors. For nearly a decade, Noble Gold has helped thousands of Americans protect their future, turning numbers on a screen into real, tangible assets. And right now, when you make a qualified investment, Noble Gold will add a free 10th-ounce gold coin to your order. Disciplined investors protect what they've built. Visit NobleGoldInvestments.com today. NobleGoldInvestments.com.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
It is tough to go outside these days. Hey, that's understandable given how hot it is. But there is definitely a way to beat the heat. A trip to Inner Space Caverns in Georgetown. Inner Space Caverns is a great place to take the family. You'd be amazed at all of the beautiful formations, large rooms, prehistoric animal bones, and all kinds of creations with a truly unique discovery story right here in the Austin area in the year-round temperature of a very comfortable 72 degrees. You can check out the super exciting Sabertooth Zip Ride or Pan for Gemstones. Take the Wild Cave Tour or the Hidden Passages Tour. And there's a great souvenir gift shop and newly remodeled restrooms. Get out of the house, but get out of the heat and get some fresh air underground. Inner Space Caverns, right off I-35 at exit 259 in Georgetown. That's Inner Space Caverns. For more details, check them out on the web at innerspacecaverns.com. Inner Space Caverns. Check it out. Your adventure awaits.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, KVET AM Austin. Your home for the Horn. Make us the #1 preset in your car and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
The morning kickoff. The morning kickoff.
It's the morning kickoff with Mike Hardball Hardge and the world's strongest man, WWE Hall of Famer, Mark Henry, on your home for the Horns. 1300 The Zone.
Hour number 1 is in the books. We had Coach Sark meeting with the media. We talked Micah Parsons and By the way, Mark, my guy Chan said, why, Cowgirls? Poor leadership at the top. Speak, Mr. Henry, speak. Talking about the Cowboys' leadership. And, of course, we had Joe Cook of Inside Texas, and we just finished the conversation about retiring jerseys of players. And is that a good thing? And I guess in some instances, it can be.
It can be. It can be. And omissions, Andrew Luck's his not retired yet. So
okay. And also, we want to give you a chance to win a pair of tickets right now to go see Jason Aldean. All you got to do is leave the word green. Green is the word for a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Jason Aldean August the 16th at the Moody Center. Go leave a message on the iHeartRadio app, AM 1300 The Zone, and tap that red microphone and leave the word green. Green will give you a chance to win a pair of tickets to go see Jason Aldean. Coming up in the next segment, we will preview the NBA play-in games, which start tonight. I want to get your thoughts on that, Mark. There's a couple good games, and one of them is Memphis and Golden State, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. But right now, I want you to hear more from Coach Steve Sarkisian. As the question was asked yesterday, Texas had their workout on Saturday, and he was asked, who stood out in Saturday's scrimmage?
Oh, man, that feels like an eternity ago. It really wasn't that long ago. First of all, I thought it was a really physical practice, which we needed. Every practice kind of has an emphasis of what we're looking for. And so I'd say collectively, it was a physical practice, the opportunity to tackle, to get tackled, to hold on to the ball, to sustain all the way through late into the scrimmage portion of the practice. So those things kind of broad scope, big picture, I thought were some real positives. I could probably talk about a bunch of guys. I think I'll probably just kind of lean into maybe more some of the newer faces or some faces that have been, let's call them developmental players early in their career here. A guy that is starting to really show up for us on the defensive side of the ball has been Warren Roberson. He's had an impact for us on special teams here. But now we're starting to see the value of him on the defensive side of the ball. Jumping around on the defensive side of the ball, I'm thinking through how the day went. I thought Jelani McDonald showed some really good things. Again, a guy who's grown into that position, has moved, and now has kind of settled in there, has been a real positive force on that front. I think some of our new faces on the defensive front, I think Hero Canoe, Cole have both been really solid players for us on the defensive front, which has been impressive. And we're getting the best version of Brad Spence right now too, to throw that into the mix. He's a guy that was a little nicked up when we got him, and he's had to kind of grow into playing at that spot and playing more football. So that's been a real positive. I think on the offensive side of the ball, Amari Winston's been a guy that has shown up and has done really nice things for us at tight end. He showed up the other night. Parker Livingstone continues to play well for us. And I think some things on the offensive line are starting to really show themselves to us too. Brandon Baker's a guy who's a developmental player now in year 2 is starting to show a lot of consistency as well. So a lot of different names. I could talk about a bunch of guys, but those are the ones that kind of pop into my head first.
Steve he gave us a lot.
That's
he gave
a lot.
a lot of names that have kind of stood out that a lot of folks are excited about. Obviously, one of the biggest names is Warren Roberson, who has been playing his behind off every opportunity that he got. Last year, he made the most of them, as did Jelani McDonald is somebody that is really, really talented, that is continuing to get some love.
Right?
Yes, he is, from Waco Conley. And it's just one of those things that you continue to look at and watch the growth and maturation of this team, and that is important for Texas to go to that next level.
You mentioned a couple of receivers, too.
He did. He's been doing that, and some offensive linemen that kind of stood out as well. But one of the things that he was asked, too, by our guy Eric Henry, who will be on the show tomorrow at 7:34 to talk all things – not tomorrow. Sorry, Danny Davis is tomorrow. But Eric Henry will be Thursday. He was asked who needs to be coached up and who would be ready right now.
Yeah, we're not really there yet for us as a staff. We're trying to coach them all, right? But I'm also aware of the fact of, the foundation that we lay at the start of training camp or at the start of spring ball for some of the veteran players, a Michael Taff and Anthony Hill, a DJ Campbell. That foundation gets formed a lot quicker, right, than a player that just arrived or that's in his freshman year. And so as we move through spring ball, as we move through camp, the older player, the veteran player, the guy who has the experience, Ethan Burks of the world, right, the Trey Moores of the world, they can stack bricks a lot quicker and get themselves ready to go for what week one looks like. Some of those other guys we have to pace, because the worst thing we want to do is jump ahead and then their building crumbles because they have no foundation. And so we just have to be mindful of that as we go, of what we're scripting, what we're calling when certain guys are on the field to let them have some success, because with success builds confidence and builds more want to. And so we're just trying to mindful of who's in when, a first teamer, a second teamer, a third teamer. Is it a veteran player? Is it a younger player? Is it a younger player that has really excelled quickly? Then we can kind of push him along. So just trying to be mindful of all the guys on the roster right now, because like I said, we're going to need all of them. I don't know who, I don't know when. We learned that last year. And as we can continue to help them grow, not just in training camp when that comes around, but we're going to have to help them grow throughout the season. I think that's another part that we dove into more last year that we'll probably dive into even more than that. Thinking about our Monday practices, so much of that is dedicated to our developmental players, that we're going to have to really dive into that as much or more than we did a year ago.
So the interesting part about that, Mark, means that when you start to look at this team and the developmental part of it, he said on Mondays, that's what they used to do. Now they're going to end up having to coach everybody up because it's brand new people. So everybody's going to have to listen.
I thought the nugget in that was they're not coaching them up for just this season.
Right.
They're coaching them up for the duration of them being here on the university.
Well, he also said that when you start with some of these guys, some guys are ready for Ohio State, and others you got to get ready for the end of the season.
Right.
Because that is where the true development is going to be. The guys for Ohio State, they played last year.
He coaching on mini planes.
And that's been the biggest difference.
And I'm going to tell you something. Just the thought of listening to what he just said makes you realize how brilliant he is. He realized that everybody's not on the same learning curve. Everybody's the people that are going to be the best may not be the best right now.
Correct.
That is crazy.
Which is why he was talking about us reporting if a guy didn't do well at practice or in the scrimmage, and now the kid's confidence is shot because everybody's talking about it. Well, he didn't look good at this. He didn't do this. But now we go back and transition. Now he has room to grow. And one of the guys that have shown a lot of growth is Anthony Hill. Anthony Hill has become a leader. He's the face of the program, the middle linebacker. And each step of the way, he's gotten better. So the developmental part is about him, and other people can recognize that.
Well, I think that the one thing, Anthony has proven over 2 years is his playmaking ability. He's always, the sacks, the forced fumbles, the interceptions, the big hits. What I've admired about him this spring is a level of consistency that he's playing at, being where he's supposed to be, when he's supposed to be there, the communication. And I think that kind of goes hand in hand with Leona too. They're both in that year 3. They have Coach Nansen for a second year in a row now. So that speaking the same language has been helpful. And you can see them communicating with some of the newer faces, a Trey Moore, who's kind of jockeying between positions, Brad Spence jockeying between positions, and then Ty Anthony Smith in year 2. So it's a really good group. Obviously, he's a great leader of that room. He does things the right way. I'm really impressed with Anthony, not just who he is on the field, but who he is off the field representing the program. And so it's been helpful. I saw an interview the other night with he and Colin doing an interview, and I was just impressed to hear what I talk about come out of their mouths where it felt very natural that they believe in some of the thoughts that are important to us as a program.
Nice. Nice. That's what it's all about when you start to think about this team, the leadership, and guys that have grown up in the program being able to lead this program to new heights. Anthony Hill, Colin Simmons, being those leaders that are developed within the system, can now take some of those young guys under their wing, and now they are the ones that everybody's leaning on over the last 2 seasons.
It's good to hear that name, Anthony Smith.
Yeah.
Like, because he was so highly regarded that you want to see the guys that were highly regarded pay off. And, you know, he's Jasper, right? Jasper.
I believe so, yeah.
We met his aunt at the Derek Johnson coaching.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
For the women. Like, that was awesome, man. Like, to see him do well, because he really is a good kid.
Yeah, and you know how hard these kids work to get to this level, and it's not given. It's a lot of work, blood, sweat, and tears, and now everybody is starting to share those same sentiments during that time. Coming up next, you know what time it is. Play-in games are about to happen. Who's going to be the champion in a big-time matchup this week right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
The Craig Way Show with Craig Way.
Tex Schramm, you'd hear him on with Brad Sham when we had the show and I was the producer for it, called Ask Tex Schramm. This was like 1987. The football Cardinals were moving to Arizona. Brad Sham is doing the show. And so he asked him, he said, well, does that mean also now there'll be a change that the Atlanta Falcons would move from the NFC West to the NFC East? The Texas response was, well, once you're on an airplane, what difference does it make?
Weekdays from 2 to 5 p.m. on AM 1300 The Zone.
Sports Radio AM 1300 The Zone has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, bank. That's bank. Enter it now at am1300thezone.com.
AM 1300 The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Delays are getting worse due to a crash blocking off the 2 right lanes on 183 southbound at Lamar Boulevard. You're now backed up from Loop 360, causing over 30 minutes of stop-and-go traffic to be added to the drive. Also, watch out for road debris in the 2 left lanes on Highway 71 eastbound just after Riverside. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Cedar Park Overhead Doors. Save $300 off select steel garage doors now at Cedar Park Overhead Doors. Top quality doesn't have to cost more. For the best garage doors at the best prices, call Cedar Park Overhead Doors or online at cedarparkgaragedoors.com.
This is Mark Henry, the world's strongest man. Discover the true taste of Texas at Mom's Food, Smokehouse, and Delicatessen, where everything is handcrafted in-house, from the mustard to the bacon. Proudly featured in the inaugural Michelin Guide of Texas, they source the finest products from local producers. Visit us at 5811 Manor Road, Austin, Texas, or find them at your favorite farmer's market. Pre-order their barbecue today. Don't you keep the best delicatessen in Austin a secret. Tell them Mark Henry sent you.
It's Spring Black Friday at the Home Depot, so what are you working on? If you're sprucing up your lawn, you know there's no such thing as too much mulch. So don't miss this special buy. 5 bags of Scott's Earth Grow mulch for only $10 at the Home Depot. Promote healthier soil, prevent weeds, and beautify your yard with mulch that maintains its color for up to 12 months. Shop 14 days of deals during Spring Black Friday, now through April 16th at the Home Depot.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts, guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Tickets are on sale now, y'all, for our 2025 iHeart Country Festival, presented by Capital One, happening Saturday, May 3rd at the Moody Center in Austin, Texas. Don't miss your chance to see country music's biggest superstars. Tickets are on sale now. Ticketmaster.com.
Hey, Joy. Oh, you are glowing.
Oh, hey, more like Mira joyed that Miralax helped me go. I was so backed up. Tried mega coffees, prune juice, everything. Then Miralax. And hello, gentle relief without the harsh side effects.
Ooh, how does it work?
It works naturally with the water in your body for constipation relief. Find Miralax today at Walmart.
Use as directed for occasional constipation.
Tires matter. They're the only part of your vehicle that touches the road. Tread confidently with new tires from Tire Rack. Whether you're looking for expert recommendations or know exactly what you want, Tire Rack makes it really easy. Fast, free shipping, free road hazard protection, convenient installation options, and the best selection of Yokohama tires. Go to TireRack.com/Dan, see their Yokohama test results, tire ratings, and reviews, and be sure to check out all the special offers. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Bring spring to your door with Target Circle 360. Get all you need for Easter hosting, spring get-togethers, and more with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. From Easter basket goodies to fresh florals, getting everything the same day is easy. Open the Target app and bring the magic of the season to your door with unlimited same-day delivery through Target Circle 360. Visit target.com/circle or the Target app for more details. Subscription required. Same-day delivery is subject to terms. Applies to orders over $35.
Sometimes it feels like the world is moving at hyperspeed and you can't keep up because it's one thing then another. And don't forget the meeting and the yoga class and the dinner reservation. But then you get into the all-new Nissan Murano and you feel the breeze from a panoramic moonroof while the massaging seats melt away the tension of the day. And you realize that sometimes the greatest rush is not rushing at all. Shop the all-new Murano at nissanusa.com. Panoramic moonroof massaging leather appointed seats are available features.
Hey Austin, this is Cameron Parker with big news. 2024 savings are renting customers who switch from Geico, Allstate, and State Farm to Fred Loya Insurance saved an average of $2,300 a year. That's right, customers in Texas saved an average of $2,300 a year when they switch to Fred Loya Insurance. That's almost $200 a month. Wow. Don't wait. Make 2025 a great year by calling Fred Loya Insurance. Call today, 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040. Or visit fredloya.com. If you don't call, you don't save. Individual savings may vary.
Sports Radio 1300 The Zone, your home for the Horns.
Coming up, we got the world's strongest takes in the next segment. And it's a special day in Major League Baseball. We'll cover that as well. But right now, I want to get into the NBA. The Atlanta Hawks and the Orlando Magic kick off the play-in games in the NBA. They take off tonight at 6:30, and of course, it will be on TNT, followed by the Memphis Grizzlies at the Golden State Warriors. This game, both of these games are for 7th and 8th place. The team that wins moves on, and the teams that lose have to play another game before they are officially out of the playoffs. But Mark, I wanted to ask you this, because both of these matchups are pretty. The numbers say that they're not as even. Orlando's favored by 5.5 over the Atlanta Hawks, and Golden State is favored by 7.5 over the Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis fired their coach, Taylor Jenkins, halfway through the season, and you look at what Memphis has done all year. Ja Morant, highly contested, highly controversial player, but do you think that the Hawks and the Magic, what's his name, Pablo Banchero, is one of the best players in the NBA? I still can't believe how big he is. Kind of, every time I look at this dude, I'm like, this dude is big.
6'10".
Yes.
265.
And strong.
And can run it, can shoot it. I mean, he needs a complimentary piece, man, that's going to help him win games. But I would have to go with the Magic, man, regardless of having the Hawks having Trey. Zakir from France, he's been playing really well as of late, but I think he'll be nullified by Pablo Banchero. I'm gonna go Magic.
Yeah, I mean, that I wouldn't blame you for going Magic because of the fact of what you said, but Trae Young, Ice Trae, being able to get into the playoffs and having an opportunity to go out there and try to lead his team is something that he loves these moments because now it's 0-0. It's my opportunity to go out there and bust somebody up, and I believe that he has that type of ability. But if you look at how the seedings are set up, so this is the 7-8 matchup. The Magic and the Hawks. The winner will play the Boston Celtics. The loser will play the winner of the 9 and 10 matchup, and that's the Bulls and the Heat. So to me, I would prefer, well, you would have to play the Cavaliers if you end up winning that matchup as well. So for me, it's the end of your season anyway, because you're not beating the Cavaliers, nor are you beating the Celtics.
Well, the guys that are going to be playing against Trae Young, Suggs, who is, a phenomenal player, and Anthony Black, he's 6'7".
Yeah.
So Trey's going to have big dudes in front of him, defending him. And unless
they better stay with him, though.
Unless he had one of those ice trade days where he go for 40, I see them losing this game.
Well, I'm looking at this Magic Hawks matchup, and I'm thinking, okay, both of them 41 and 41 and 40 and 42, right there in the mix. It could go either way, but I'm with you. I'll take the Magic to win that game and move on to take on the Celtics. The Grizzlies and the Warriors. Steph Curry, now you're dealing with Jimmy Butler, might be hurt. You don't know exactly what's happening with him. Is he going to be able to play? Is he going to be healthy enough to go in there to provide some help in this matchup? I'm not sure. But one of the things that I am sure of is this matchup between Ja Morant and Steph Curry. And when I say Ja Morant versus Steph Curry, obviously they're not going to be guarding each other, but are these guys going to be able to lead their team to a victory? Both
well,
point
we know
guards.
Steph can.
Right? He's got a championship. Yeah.
Ja, I have zero faith. All I can think is him throwing grenades in the crowd, every time he make a shot.
Yeah.
And he thinks that that's cool. And he's more concentrating on him showing people up than him winning the game. So I'm going Golden State with or without Jimmy Butler.
Ooh. Really?
Jimmy could not play, and they still have Kuminga. They still have Draymond Green. They still have Looney playing in the center position. They have enough pieces to give them all the trouble. Moody hadn't got a chance to really shine. And Padinsky, I feel like he is the best compliment for Steph Curry because he'll shoot it too.
Yeah.
So where's the weakness?
Well, I'm more worried about this playoff Jimmy because, look, you start looking at why you went and got him. You got him for this. He hadn't helped your team ascend as everybody thought they were going to when they got Jimmy. Then you look at the fact that he was supposed to be there to help defensively with Draymond Green,
right?
Who is a lot older now. Now, you can look at the regular season. You can look at the regular season record and say Golden State won 3 games to their just 1. But Ja Morant wasn't playing like Ja Morant. The first time they played him, Ja Morant had 9 points. The second game he played him, then he had 36. But then Steph, he had 13, went for 2, and then he had 52 against him in those 3 wins. So, man.
Listen, when in doubt, go with who's been there the most.
Well, I'm gonna go with Steve Kerr because of the simple fact that they got a coach. They've got a coach on the other side that just got hired in the middle of the season and probably not going to be I'm not gonna say he's not gonna be dialed in because he has been dialed in, but you have to be able to go there and attack the rim. And that's what Ja does. And again, is this one of those games where just like Ice Trey, John Morant is looking at this game and saying, I can change the whole way people look at us if I go out there and hoop. What are your thoughts?
I think that Golden State is heads and shoulders above Memphis. Memphis, they were able to pull some games together in the middle of the season, before the All-Star break, and then right after the All-Star break, when John Morant came back healthy and he vowed that he was never gonna dunk again, that he was just gonna try to score and put his teammates in position to score. Where did that go?
Yeah.
By the end of the season, he regressed back to trying to dunk on everybody. And he's gotten hurt a couple of times in the process.
Yeah.
And he's not getting his team involved. He's a guard. And he plays more point than he does too.
Well, if Jaren Jackson is able to get going, then this will be something that will help Memphis. You know what? I'm going Memphis. Wow. I didn't talk myself into it. I didn't talk myself into Memphis. So I'm going to take everybody believes in the Warriors, and I believe it too. But you know what? I have something that I think is going to be that secret weapon, and he's not a secret. And I believe John Morant is going to come out there and play his behind off, hand grenade and all, and see what he's going to be able to do, because I believe Jaren Jackson, who is going to get some votes for Defensive Player of the Year, is going to be able to protect the rim. Now, he can't protect it from three-pointers from Steph Curry, but he can definitely protect that team all the way around the rim. So I'm going to go with Memphis in this one, man.
All right.
I'm not going to lose my mind on the other one, though. I'm going to stay with Orlando.
He gonna get introduced to Trace Jackson Davis if he tries to take that stuff inside. And him and Looney gonna have a block party for him.
We're gonna see. I'm excited about it. Coming up next, we got the world's strongest man bringing you the world's strongest take right here on AM 1300 The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
There's a crash on I-35 southbound on what's usually the lighter side of traffic at Onion Creek Parkway. This crash has the right lane blocked off, causing delays to start from Brant Road. There's also debris in the two left lanes on Highway 71 eastbound just after Riverside Drive, and an accident being cleaned up on Anderson Lane going northbound at Cameron. I'm Jason Fossick with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Ready to win some real cash during the basketball playoffs? Check out Pick 6 from DraftKings. When it comes to basketball payouts, DraftKings Pick 6 posterizes the competition, including prize picks. Hit all your picks and score higher minimum payouts on Pick 6, plus even more cash if you outscore the competition. Pick 6 is available in most states, including the great state of Texas. I've enjoyed it, and you should too. New players get $50 in Pick 6 credits instantly on just $5 entry. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use the code SPOTLIGHT. That's code SPOTLIGHT for new customers to play $5 and get $50 in Pick 6 credits. Better payouts and bigger wins. Only at DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. One per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. With thousands of 5-star reviews, you can trust us to bring happiness home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CSLB numbers are 837-312-881-317.
Yep, it's that time of year when CCA Austin has their fundraiser. The who's who of Austin will be there on May 8th at the Pomeroy Event Center, checking out the live auction items, the silent auction items, all the games, and having some of the best food in Austin. Will be there as well. There's tables still available. We'll see you at the Palmer Event Center May 8th. Doors opening at 5:30. Check out ccaaustin.org for more info.
Shop simple. It doesn't get any easier. You're looking for a new Ford. You don't have time to spend hours at the dealership. So Truck City Ford in Buda has made it simple. Go online. Pick yours at truckcityford.com. We can bring it to you for a home test drive. Once you determine it's perfect, you can arrange financing, value your trade, and sign all your paperwork digitally. Then simply tell us where and when you want to take delivery. Leif Johnson's Truck City Ford in Buda has made buying a new Ford simple.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it.
Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Chargers sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
From the ABA Heating and Cooling Weather Center, this is Zone Weather.
Your Austin area weather, partly cloudy skies for your Tuesday, a high of 82. Partly cloudy tonight, a low near 60. Wednesday, morning clouds, afternoon sunshine, a high in the mid-80s.
This report is sponsored by Cordell & Cordell.
Cordell & Cordell, Divorce and Family Law. CordellCordell.com. 866-323-7529. 866-323-7529. Joseph Cordell, Principal Partner. CordellCordell.com.
Here's what's trending now on the new and improved iHeartRadio app.
You are not going to want to miss this. Lizzo is opening up like never before on Purpose with Jay Shetty, and it's an episode everyone is talking about. Plus, Troy and Belisario shares what life has been like after Pretty Little Liars on Post Run High, and it might surprise you. And Amanda Knox joins Bobby Cass to talk about surviving prison and life nearly 20 years after being wrongfully accused.
Explore the latest. Open the free iHeartRadio app and see what's trending now.
1300 The Zone is your home for the Round Rock Express.
You heard that beat drop? That can only mean one thing. WWE Hall of Famer and the world's strongest man, D. Mark Henry, brings you his world's strongest take. Take it away, big fella.
All right.
What's up?
You know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time for the world's strongest take by the world's strongest man. Marcus. Back then they didn't know me. Now I'm hot. They all on me. Guys, before I get to the world's strongest take, I just want to let y'all know, please, pretty please, do not miss Thursday. Thursday, we have Kinfolk, Kendrick Perkins from the NBA. And Kendrick has like 5 shows. Like, he is doing really, really well. And his analysis of basketball in the NBA is second to none. So I'm looking forward to having him on and asking him some lobs and some tough questions.
No doubt.
But the world's strongest take today is definitely a good one. WrestleMania season is here.
What?
Oh, yeah, we had our guy Joe. We talked about it a little bit, but we didn't want to get into it too much because of the world's strongest take. Now, the WWE has done an unbelievable job of advancing what WrestleMania is and was in the past. In the past, it's always been a spectacle. But just in the last year in Philadelphia, as per Sports Pro records, the WWE attendance was 145,298, which broke the previous record by 78%. And they're expecting more this year. And, that's over 2 nights. so you just, cut it in half. But selling out an arena 2 nights in a row, over 60,000 is a big deal. WrestleMania has become a can't miss entertainment piece in the world. I mean, it's always been entertaining to wrestling fans.
Yep.
But now it's evolved into something outside of the pro wrestling universe.
What do you mean by that?
You have all the celebrities from different sports.
Mm-hmm.
You have Travis Scott doing the music. And there's so many actors and actresses that they want to sit in the front row and be recognized at wrestling. And they support. I leave for Vegas tomorrow after the show, and I've already talked to, so many celebrities. I'm not going to sit here and name drop everybody, but there's so many people that are going to come for the festivities. They don't even have tickets.
Right. Well, it is Vegas.
Right.
There's going to be a lot going on out there.
Right, but there's
Been
parties.
a lot of I was going to say a lot of personalities. Yeah.
So like every company, TNA has a show in Vegas. Even my company, All Caribbean, we have a show in Vegas. Like, so the list of
when you say a show, are y'all performing
a pro wrestling show
event? Yes.
Event.
Okay.
Now, once Saturday hits, nobody's doing anything.
Right.
It's all WWE. You put a show on if you want to.
You will be empty.
There will be crickets in there. You can hear a mouse pee on cotton. But I love the fact that the whole wrestling world goes to the city where WrestleMania is. The thing that my take is I feel like now you can honestly say that the WWE and WrestleMania is in the same category now with the Olympics.
Right.
And with the NFL Super Bowl and with the NBA championship and with the Masters, like whatever high level sporting event there is in the world, you can put the WWE up there. What say you?
Well, I mean, I'm a big fan of it. Obviously, knowing you for as long as I have, and getting a chance to be around so many of these great athletes, you start looking at the lineup for this weekend. I didn't realize it was number 41.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that Joe Cook, who was on with us from Inside Texas, he and I were talking about this yesterday. He got a chance to go to the one in Houston. And it was his first one. And he said the guy that was sitting right around him, he thought he was in it. Joe was like, yeah, this is awesome. And then the guy told him, hey, this was my 16th. And Joe was like, whoa, you're in a whole different you're in a whole different realm than I am. But I wanted to ask you this, because obviously the whole week of festivities that is going on right now is pretty cool, pretty important. And that's why you're going out there tomorrow. But you got the WrestleMania kickoff on Friday. You have SmackDown show on Friday, and you have the Hall of Fame ceremony on Friday. And those are the moments that I wanted to be a part of, right? Because those are like special moments. Yes, the show is going to be the show.
Right.
But the hard work that you all have put in throughout your career to be recognized in front of everybody, in front of all your peers, the future and the past, get a chance to watch you walk up there and give your speech. I got a lot left in the tank. You know what I'm saying? And what you say, your tank is
my
what?
My tank is empty and the check engine light is on. You could put it out your mind.
But those are the moments that eventually, if I didn't have baseball this week, I would be going out there with you to do the shows, because I think it's something that, number one, we get to see you in your element. We see you here every morning, but that's your life. That was where you got your bones, right? That's where you earned. And so to see you around it, like people always say to me when we go to spring training, my family's always like, wow, you really do.
Man, they remember you.
Yeah, you really do. You really did this.
Right.
And being around it. So, those are the moments that I would always want to be a part of, the Hall of Fame ceremonies and the people that are being inducted. The event is the event, and WrestleMania is its own world. But watching guys get recognized for what they did, and women for what they did in the sport, is something that's pretty cool. Like Undertaker's wife. She's going in this year.
Right.
Triple H is going in this year. Just those particular things that I think are pretty cool.
I think it's awesome, man. I also think that this is going to be one of those father-son weekends for me that I'll never. Now Jacob is getting at that age where he wants to be a part of the business, and being that has an NIL deal with WWE, he's going to be out there. So he'll be able to tag along with me to a lot of events.
Yeah, that's going to be real, real cool. Another special World's Strongest Take by the World's Strongest Man. We're going to close up the show and send you to Dan Patrick. And also, today is a special day, and I'll tell you all about it right here on the Morning Kickoff on Sports Radio, AM 1300, The Zone.
Hey, baseball fans. Catch the Round Rock Express right here on 1300 The Zone. All the action and excitement from the ballpark. Don't miss a pitch. It's Round Rock Express Baseball, only on 1300 The Zone.
Don't miss the iHeart Country Festival 2025, returning to the Moody Center Saturday, May 3rd. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
There's a crash on I-35 southbound on what's usually the lighter side of traffic at Onion Creek Parkway. This crash has the right lane blocked off, causing delays to start from Brant Road. There's also debris in the two left lanes on Highway 71 eastbound just after Riverside Drive, and an accident being cleaned up on Anderson Lane going northbound at Cameron. I'm Jason Bostic with a look at Austin area traffic.
This report is sponsored by eBay.
Rapid radios are the official walkie-talkie of the Dan Patrick Show. You can reach your aging parents anywhere at any time with Rapid Radios push-to-talk devices, providing clear contact nationwide on an LTE network. 100% private, no subscriptions ever. Visit rapidradios.com. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com, get up to 60% free shipping from Michigan. Add code radio25, get an extra $25 off and free EMP protection bag.
It's time to warm up that scoreboard and get ready to bring home the win with Specs. Specs has you covered with lower prices on all your favorite fan fuel. From craft beer, rare spirits, and world-class wine to chips, dips, and gourmet finer foods. And with same-day delivery when you order online or through the app, Specs is your MVP for the biggest score of the game. At Specs, the fun starts here.
Here's to you, cheers to savings.
Sometimes it feels like the world is moving at hyperspeed and you can't keep up because it's one thing then another. And don't forget the meeting and the yoga class and the dinner reservation. But then you get into the all-new Nissan Murano and you feel the breeze from the panoramic moonroof while the massaging seats melt away the tension of the day. And you realize that sometimes the greatest rush is not rushing at all. Shop the all-new Murano at nissanusa.com. Panoramic moonroof massaging leather appointed seats are available features.
A great lawn is like a great sports team. It takes expertise and a little extra care to stand out, and that's where True Green comes in. Here's the best part. It's more affordable than you think. They'll even match any competitor's price. Plus, True Green backs it all up with a satisfaction guarantee. Not happy? They will come back between visits to make it right. So don't wait. Head to truegreen.com today and let the pros do the work while you sit back and enjoy the results. Exclusions apply. See truegreen.com for details. Recently, I discovered Meguiar's new paint, dash, and glass. It helps me keep my ride clean. And your life gets busy, so you want it to be quick and easy. One product, one solution, designed for those of us short on time. From light dust on paint vinyl, leather, even screens, to bugs and debris on the glass, this inside and out detailer removes the guesswork when you're on the go. Just grab McGuire's new paint, dash, and glass and keep life simple and your ride looking fresh. McGuire's. Reflect your passion.
Hey, Austin, this is Cameron Parker with big news. 2024 savings are raining customers who switch from Geico, Allstate, and State Farm to Fred Loya Insurance saved an average of $2,300 a year. That's right. Customers in Texas saved an average of $2,300 a year when they switch to Fred Loya Insurance. That's almost $200 a month. Wow. Don't wait. Make 2025 a great year by calling Fred Loya Insurance. Call today, 1-800-444-4040. That's 1-800-444-4040. Or visit fredloya.com. If you don't call, you don't save. Individual savings may vary.
The new iHeart app just looks better.
The best feature of a car radio on the app.
It's the presets.
Super easy.
And thank you for keeping it free.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today. iHeartRadio.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Ownwell. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ownwell.com/terms. Estimate based on your neighborhood average and individual results may vary.
When I saw how high my property tax bill was, I was shocked. We couldn't afford this, but I discovered Ownwell. Ownwell reduced my property taxes and saved me over $1,000.
Your property taxes aren't set in stone. They can be protested and they can be reduced. But instead of filing protests yourself and very possibly losing your appeal, Ownwell does it all for you. But hurry, time is running out to protest. Ownwell has reduced property taxes for hundreds of thousands of Texans and put money back in their pocket, and you can be one of them. And unlike other companies that take half of whatever you save, Ownwell charges just 25%, and that's only if you save.
Now I don't worry about my property taxes. Ownwell reduces it every year.
Sign up now, free. Don't pay unless you save. But hurry, time is running out to protest. Text WIN to 64,000. Text WIN to 64,000. Text WIN to 64,000.
Get the Apple Leasing Advantage today. Visit appleleasing.com. That's appleleasing.com.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Join the voice of the Texas Longhorns, Craig Way, each day from 2 to 5 p.m. for the Craig Way Show on Sports Radio AM 1300, The Zone.
Much to get into. Joe Cook of Inside Texas came on. We talked a lot about Shark. Even asked Mark a couple questions about WrestleMania. That was pretty cool as well. But I wanted to get into this conversation because today is Jackie Robinson Day. This was the day. On this day, April the 15th, the Major League decided to retire his number. The number 42 has been retired across all major league. No one is ever able to wear that number again unless you're already wearing it before 1997. I don't think any of those players are still around. Jackie Robinson made his debut on this day in 1947. He's got the life, the legacy, and the impact of a trailblazer for so many people that got a chance to play professional baseball that kind of look like me and Mark Henry and Marcus, for that matter. But it's more than that. What he did for people across the world. He changed the way his teammates viewed each other. He changed the way, the opportunities for other people to come and play this wonderful game that I love called baseball. Jackie Robinson will be immortalized forever. The number 42 will never be worn again. And his impact on baseball and life choices can never be understated. So remember that today is Jackie Robinson Day. Everybody will wear the number 42 today.
Right. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Like, Eric, I thought that's the classiest part of it.
Yep.
Is every player wears 42.
Everybody will wear number 42 for the day. So kudos to Major League Baseball. Kudos to Jackie Robinson and his family members. His legacy will forever roll on. Also, last night, the WNBA had their draft, and to no surprise, the number one pick in the draft came from UConn. Well, maybe.
With the first pick
In the 2025 WNBA draft, the Dallas Wings select Paige Beckers, University of Connecticut.
Think about this. She became the sixth woman from UConn to be drafted number 1. The sixth player in UConn's history to be the number 1 overall draft pick.
So does this automatically make you a Dallas Wings fan?
Oh, of course.
You going to get the jersey?
No, I'm going to get the hat.
Oh, you going to get a hat?
I'm not wearing no jersey, man. If it don't say Hardge on the back of it, I ain't rocking it.
Wow. Look at them.
No.
You're so vain.
No, man. I mean, why am I walking around with somebody else's name on the back of my jersey, of on my back? I'll get one with no name on it. I'll do that, but I'm not wearing another person's name on there.
Get the hat, man. Just get the hat.
I do have one jersey that I used to wear, and it was DeMarcus Ware's jersey. 94 Ware, and it was the Cowboy throwback jersey. That was the only reason why
I got 2.
What is yours?
I got 2 jerseys. I got Buck O'Neal.
Okay.
And I got Earl Campbell.
Well, I mean, icons.
You got to have an Earl jersey.
You got to have a Buck O'Neal jersey.
And Buck was the best. You mentioned the Robinson family. My wife worked for the Robinson family.
Right.
She worked for Sharon Robinson, Jackie Robinson's daughter, and like when she worked at Major League Baseball.
Right.
And we both got to meet Buck O'Neal multiple times and in separate settings.
Right.
And Buck O'Neal was both of our favorite baseball player. He was awesome, Hardge.
Yeah. Buck O'Neal he tells the best stories. Yes, he is. He was the guy that if you wanted history, go to Buck O'Neal because he saw it all. He saw Cool Papa Bell. He saw Satchel.
Yeah.
He saw Willie Mays. He saw those types of players at an early age and recognized the talents of those men. And, I always think about the movie Bingo Long and the Traveling All-Stars. One of my favorite movies of all time. And people don't, they were like, what? I'm like, if you want to watch a baseball movie and understand what Josh Gibson and those guys, Cool Papa Bell, and all those people that were involved in it, go watch that.
Watch that.
Because that
James
will teach
Earl
you.
Jones,
Exactly. Will teach you. And Lou Gossett Jr.
Yeah.
Billy D. Williams. I mean, you got everybody.
A host of famous African-American baseball players in the struggle. And they talked about the Chitlin circuit and the Green Books. And stuff that nobody had talked about until that point.
Exactly. So it was an exciting time. Speaking of exciting time, the Texas baseball team, since we're talking baseball, they are the number 1 team in the land. Consensus, number 1 team in the land. Tonight, they will take on UTRGV. That game will start at 6:15, 103.1 FM. 103.1 FM is where you need to go for Texas baseball tonight. Craig Way and Keith Moreland will be on the call. Texas baseball is a consensus number 1 team in the land, but they will have a big challenge tonight. And one of the players for Rio Grande Valley just happens to be the brother of Rylan Galvan. He will be going up against him. His twin brother. I was looking at pictures the other day. I was like,
man,
these two gotta be twins. And so his twin brother will be playing for Rio Grande. So make sure that you go and check that out as well.
I'm glad you didn't call him little brother, because then that would have been bulletin board material.
Well, but if you call him, I'm talking about the actual brother. I'm like, who was born first?
Like 2 minutes.
Because you could be little
they
brother.
were 2 minutes apart.
Yeah, you could be little bro at some point. But Texas baseball, now they have to go out and represent on a Tuesday night before they have their big matchup with Auburn. That will start Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday and Friday will be at 7 p.m. You can watch the game on the SEC Network Plus, and then Saturday's game will be at 2 o'clock. People are like, why are they playing on Thursday? It's Easter weekend this weekend So you want to make sure that you get all these games in before Easter weekend because everybody's going to be all over the place. You remember when I said something about Cordell Stewart a little bit earlier?
Yeah.
So everybody's trying to figure out why those two are getting their numbers retired. Cordell Stewart doesn't have his number retired, and he won 2 bowl games and finished in the top 10 twice, and he doesn't have a son on the team. So people in Colorado are still trying to figure out, like, it's cool that you're going to do that, but what about those that came before him that aren't in the retirement stage? So we'll continue those conversations and so much more. Tomorrow, don't forget, we got Danny Davis of the Austin American-Statesman. On Thursday, we have Eric Henry of Horns Up 24/7 and Kendrick Perkins, the big fella, will be joining the show in the Legends of the Locker Room segment. For Marcus, for Mark Henry, and of course, you, the people, I'm Hardball Hardge. And just remember this, don't believe everything you see, because even salt looks like sugar. Peace. Have a good one. Hardball Hardge here. Spring is in full swing, so let's talk graduation gifts and summertime road trips. From sleek sedans to bold SUVs and tough Chevy trucks, Cover Chevy in Hutto is where it's at. Go see them for $4,000 off MSRP on a new 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500 ZR2 and $3,250 off MSRP on a new 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500 RST. See dealer for details. Big time deals, down home feel. You know the name. Cruise over to coverchevyhutto.com. Together, let's drive.